This is going to be your Virgo mini cross reading for June 2021. This is a general reading. The messages will not resonate with everyone. That requires a personal reading. You can see there in the corner, I don't know where my finger is, over in the left-hand corner, I think that would be, the web address to go to my website. I have different levels of readings packages. I don't even know what I'm saying because it's just like that. And so when I do a personal reading, I take your sun sign and your birth date so that I can pick you out of the collective, and we focus on whatever energies surround the situation you'd like to be read on. So it's kind of specific. That being said, I did some meditation and shuffling on your sign, and a card appeared. I will show you that. I have with me today the Radiant White deck, the La Vida Sabila for clarification, and we will wrap up the reading with a Golden Nostradamus card. So I'm not going to do any more shuffling. Let me go ahead and turn the camera around so that you can see the card. It is the reversed Seven of Wands. Okay, and see that? Right? And what I'm picking up is that some of you, there's some kind of challenge or test or something that you've taken on that you feel it may be a bit too much for you. Some of you are feeling maybe depleted of energy, scattered energy, kind of low energy, feel like you're kind of on shaky ground. But this is a 7, and so this energy does cause you to question yourself, perhaps what you are doing. It asks you to to focus, and if you look at the card, there's a lot of things coming at you, right? They've got you on the run or on the defensive, so to speak, and all you got is this one little wand that you're trying to use to beat back these things. But you can do this. You may have to just determine, what one of these things you may have to deal with. You might have to put this down and deal with one of these things first and take it step by step at a time. Okay, because the truth is that you're really not in as bad a situation as you think you are. Okay, I think it's just it's a moment where maybe you the energy feels like you've bitten off a bit more than you can chew. So this is where we are. I'm going to go ahead and turn over the foundation card. It is the moon. Yes, again, a lot of self-doubt and questioning about, can I get this done? Can I do this? Can I achieve it? Can I meet my goal? I don't know if this is necessarily was triggered by our last, I think it was a full moon solar eclipse, and I think we have a new moon lunar eclipse coming up in a few days. I saw that. I think I saw it on one of the charts that I was looking at. I don't remember the date, but it is coming up soon, within the next, I'm going to say week. Yeah, it's usually the first week of June. So this is the foundation. This is the near or distant past. Well, looking at this, because here this says that whatever the situation was, the crisis situation has passed, right? And at least you're able to get up, even though you may still be a bit upside down or discombobulated. You're up. You're upright. Okay. Here is the unknown factor coming in. It is the Three of Pentacles. Well, and that's exactly what it is. Some of you have taken on perhaps some extra work or an extra project. And it's a bit much for you. I think some of you may realize that this card too can sometimes indicate, like, maybe you've been stressed out a lot and you experiencing back pain, neck pain, shooting pains in your hips, and when you're stressed out. Okay. And what is the near or distant future card? It is the Knight of Cups. That is quite interesting. I don't know if one of these persons or partner in the partnership may have exited the scene. And so you're trying to find yourself a new partner, right? Or find yourself a new group in which you can move forward. What is over the whole reading? It is the Three of Swords. Well, now, that might be a completely different story. So let me take a look here. Because this card represents a sense of betrayal. It can sometimes be an attack, an ambush-like style. Somebody said something really harsh, or they, did something and you felt like you were stabbed in the back. Maybe they left you with a whole bunch of things to do or complete. Maybe they left in the middle of something. They took their cup and moved on. But this could also be a situation in which, let's say, you join forces with the person. And then once you join forces with them, everything just kind of went to crap. if you know what I mean. Like maybe you had to take on all of the responsibilities suddenly because the person, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. This is what the Knight of Cups, that's that kind of energy. It's the kind of energy where people will promise you the moon, okay, but they never deliver. All right. I think it's interesting that I have all 4 suits and a major arcana represented in the actual spread. Wands, swords, coins, cups. So to me, this is really on a mundane issue. This is not, a spiritual lesson or a karmic lesson you have to learn. It's just something that you got to deal with. Okay. The Three of Swords over the top of the reading, again, speaks to this idea of sadness, bitterness, separation, maybe anger and arguments. There could have even been an outside third party who came in and created this situation. Maybe you added somebody extra into the group. Maybe somebody came into the group. Maybe it was somebody in the group, okay? And they, just kind of upended everything. So this moon card, I feel, is really the key, because I get the sense that you feel torn between what you really want to do and what you should do, right? It's the wolf and the dog, right? The wild instincts. Like, I want to go over there and I want to punch that person in the face, but you know that you can't do that, right? And so you're trying to walk that fine line about what you should do, and there's all of these emotions coming up. I don't know, embarrassment is also a word that I get, because this is also one of the meanings of the reverse Seven of Wands. Perplexity, like I don't even understand how this came to be. Why did I not see it, or what did I miss about the situation? But again, it's a moment. It's not the end of the world. It's a moment in time, and this too shall pass. This could also be you taking your cup and moving on. All right. I don't know necessarily if this is a relationship, like romance, or if this is a business thing, because all suits are involved. So it's like it's affecting every area of your life, right? Your energy, your emotions, your thoughts, how you're behaving or what you're doing. It's affecting everything. So let me see if I can find anything let's see about these cards next to with this moon card. I was just doing a bit of reading here. I don't see anything about the Seven of Wands. I can't look at this Knight because this is like a message, but as you know, for me, some kind of news arrives and it moves the situation along. So this is the future. This is telling me that this situation, somebody is either going to leave the scene, or you're going to be able to, the message comes where you're going to be able to kind of distance yourself from this, okay? Let's take a look at this Ten of Swords. This is quite interesting to me, because in a way it kind of feels like a quick rebound for you, right? But it's just like a really crappy situation. Nothing about the Ten of Swords. Three of Pentacles. Let's see here. So, 2 threes, and I do have the 2 threes here. Foretell of a small but pleasant surprise. That's why I say that's what that is. It's almost like it comes, it hits, you know, you go through it and then you're okay. Appearing with any other 3-numbered card, it is an indication that hard work and some obstacles will present before completion of successful work and rewards, and that could be. It could also say that there's more than one person involved, and it suggests a period of suspended activity before future successes are brought to fruition. Doesn't tell me what the moon card, and I think this is a trigger. I think this either happened at the last full moon, which was May 26th, or it's a situation that's going to manifest itself coming up on this full moon, new moon lunar eclipse, or it might be a solar eclipse. I don't know. So let me take a look. And I think there was some kind of, I don't know, what's the word? Treachery or betrayal, because from the 7 to the 3 of swords gives, 7 to the 3 of swords, 10 to the 3 of swords gives me 7 swords. And so I just think this is somebody, you know, did something shady. I don't think it really surprised you. I think it did, but then if you stop and think about it, it was kind of like, you know what, I should have known, that kind of thing. Let's see what this 10 is telling us here. There's the letter. There's the falsità. And there's the bambino. Now that's very interesting. Now there could be 3 things that this is saying, because the letter can be anything. It can be a bill, it can be a document, it could be a note, it could be any kind of paper document that comes through the post, right? It's not, we could even say it might even come through, let's say, the internet, because back then when these cards were being used, they only had written word, right? But there's a couple of interpretations here. The first interpretation could be this idea that, like, maybe a paternity test result came in and it wasn't what you thought it was going to be, or somebody, you know, the news was not what we thought it would be. Okay. The second thing is that this is some kind of letter that contains a bunch of falsehoods about something new. Okay, it's some kind of communication, but it's full of lies or deception about this new thing. It could even be, like I said, about a baby. Yeah, you know, we can't do this. Let me take a look to see if I can come up with if there's a combination for these 2 cards together. What is the falsità? They're both diamonds, and oddly enough, the diamond card is the diamond suit in this deck. It's not a very positive suit. Now, it represents the idea of someone having taken advantage of you. It can represent someone's false intentions. Sometimes, here with this card, it can represent an adopted child, sibling, an adopted parent, or even stepchildren or step siblings, because it can indicate no blood ties with the people involved. That's a very, very small meaning, but I do have to put that out there. It uncovers all the plots In love, it indicates fidelity, infidelity, lies, and a partner with ulterior motives. Financially, it warns of false opportunities, fake money, deceitful colleagues, Ponzi schemes, fraud, contraband, and swindles. It warns that a situation is hiding a trap and that there is danger lurking in the background. Now, with this baby, the bambino, I think he's the 7. If it is found near the 4 of diamonds, it indicates an illegitimate child. That's a 4 of diamonds. This card says that someone discovers, particularly for a male, that the child he considered to be his, typically a son, is not really his child at all. That's exactly what I was saying. Well, other than that, the card indicates something new beginnings, situations that have not fully taken shape yet, something that is about to enter our lives, projects that have not yet borne fruit. Okay, so I mean it's right there. So those are the 2 meanings. When I first saw that, I was kind of like, oh, what? Okay, so let's take a look. Now, it doesn't tell me if this was a purpose thing done purposefully, if this is you've been hiding news about, the true parentage of, your child. You've been doing that on purpose, because this card can sometimes indicate people doing, it depends on the situation, who's doing what, right? I'm just going to take a look at this moon card to see what it has to tell me. The dilettante, well, that makes perfect sense. The vedovo. And the sacerdote. Now, the sacerdote will typically represent like the King of Swords. It implies it is someone that you can trust or that you can confide in, but he can also represent like an attorney, but he's going to be working on the other side. Okay, because sometimes this card can be a legal issue. Here, with the dilettante falling on the moon card, tells me that there are wild emotions. There can be even some rage and perhaps some kind of danger lurking underneath the surface with this. And then we see this vedovo who is just like he's completely done. He's the situation, right? All he can do is just like get up and put his clothes on and go through the motions of whatever it is he has to do. What is interesting about these 2 cards, the vedovo and the sacerdote, as partners, is that neither one of them are very outwardly emotive, right? They tend to be extremely reserved. This guy feels sorry for himself sometimes. This guy can just be really, really cold and detached. Now, I don't know what this situation is about, but it as I say, it is affecting all areas of your life at the moment. A lot of heartache here and sadness. Well, your card just flew out. The boy. That's interesting. I think he's called the boy. Let's see. He is. Well. The pure of heart is never afraid, but the scoundrel's fear is never allayed. Cultivate simplicity, goodness, purity, and honesty. These attributes will give you an advantage over difficulties, enemies, or your inner hardness. I don't know what that means for you. Or what else I can give you about this information. This really kind of reads like someone has discovered that a child that they thought was theirs, a boy, was not their own. And this has created a lot of problems. Upended everything. It does not read to me at all like a a project, although it could be. Again, that's why I said it requires a personal reading to get to the truth of whatever the matter is, because there's a lot of ambiguity in the reading. So that's what I have for you, Virgo, for June 2021. I do hope those messages help. Until next time, be well, stay safe, and namaste.